être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire. Croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire. Pour croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire. Pour croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire. Pour croire, il faut avoir quoi? Croire. Ce monde, il faut croire. Croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire. Pour croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire. Croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire. Pour croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi.
The starting point on that journey is that to understand Africa, its history, its culture, its belief, its diversity, and how it's developing. That understanding provides a clear picture or paradigm which seem to determine followership behavior in Africa. What are the predominant picture of Africa? And they are common to all who live in Africa. I am fascinated by two clearly different clusters of picture, each profoundly affecting Africa, affecting leadership and followership behavior in Africa. One cluster emphasizes practical merit-based bottom-line effectiveness, which is important to be independent, transaction-driven, time-efficient, and successful. And my success is not our success. My achievements are not ours. Even the work is done by everyone. You see, Africa that's what those are the things that will come in Africa. We do the work together. But someone will take the merit of the work that he hasn't done. And the success belongs to him. He's the one that drives by his power people to work, and then he gets the merit of it. Then that's what we see today, people in Africa. We see someone working for someone. I remember when I went back home, I found some housemaid in my house with my dad and mom. And now I asked my dad something. I said that, how many hours the guy works, the housemaid? My dad told me that he comes in the morning, goes in the evening. That's Africa. I said, what? I said, but I want to know how many hours. Does he have a break? The guy comes 7 and leaves 6. I never seen him take a break. When he comes, wash the car, he go wash the car, comes back. Do this, go and buy this. I won't see the guy on the move. I want to go out, do my suit, iron. You see the guy. Boss is finished. It's okay then. Do now this. But in the head of the boss, there's not even any thought that this guy need rest, need break, need to eat, need this. And they said, no, we will give him his fish. He will eat when he leaves. He's going to eat his in his house. Now you see now the concept is that someone comes, they tell him that, listen, we want to pay this amount of money. That's what they tell him. They tell him the amount of money, and that's it. And after telling him the amount of money, they don't tell him the hours. There's no break, there's nothing, there's no contract. The day you say that you complain, you go. They can treat you anything. Now you see, those are the things that today it's very difficult to define. I was struggling to have a look on African leadership to see how it evolves, the culture, how we came to what we are now. It's very difficult because there are things in Africa, there are some patterns that you cannot touch it. The moment you touch it, you get in trouble. Because they've put it that way. A chief in some families, you see some African families like Nigerian families, when they say chief, there is someone who speaks and then people act. It is not someone who speaks and then you come back to him and say that, Chief, you said this and I think that we should consider the other way around. They will tell you, what? I am speaking and then you are speaking. How come that both of us can speak at a time? You see, those are the things that today we see now happening in most of the people. But we can drive the change as little as we are. We can put something in place to challenge that. You know, sometimes we think that when we are small, we cannot do things. I booked a book that, what challenges me in that book is it was written 11 Indians drove change in India. And I said, no. I saw the figure 11. I said, let me buy this book. I started reading. The guy got together and said that they need to drive change. And they divide areas. They said that you work on the medical products, you work on this. And they divide 11 areas that will sustain the country. And then they went and did it. By now, the guys are millionaires. No, I'm not saying that because they made money. But they are really feeding the country. And people are, now, even what they do, the way they behave, changes the behavior of the people in the country. Why? Because they've seen something from far, and then they start to plan it, they put some action plans, they work the habit according to it, and they started to follow it until they see the change. But what we see most in our African leadership today is that people come and sit down, start to discuss about topic that will not move forward thing, not moving them. You know, we need to change. It's because of Kabila. It's because of this. This president is doing this. I sometimes I discuss like that. Sometimes I disagree with some presidents. But sometimes I say to myself, I say, I'm in Europe, not changing myself, not changing my thought. Is it because of the president? I am here. If you count the amount of years that people are living here, you see today, even the government is driving people out of benefit because they've stayed too long in it. What they can't drive themselves out. Is it the president's problem? People are going to march everywhere. They're fighting, they scream, they come back, they want the government to pay them for them to go and fight for their country. They come and say, we are against the power in back home. We are against it. And they come back the next day, we see them on the job center. They're there to sign. We don't have a choice. We have to sign. You see why? Because people don't want to take the lead of their own lives. And that's the system that's why I said that if you look at the culture, look at the history, look at the belief, that we need to look at it and work ways out of it. Because I responded to someone, I think, on a quote on the Facebook. I said that I am definitely forward thinking. And I believe that by now, until I get in the next 5 to 7 years, there will be something on the move. Because even though it will take 2 people to do it, we do it at 2. If it takes 3, we do it at 3. If it takes 4, we do it at 4. Even though someone believes in me, it doesn't problem. If he doesn't believe in me, it doesn't problem. But I still believe in myself that it will be done. You know, sometimes we need to get at this point. You know, we've been at the point where we're turning, criticizing Africa. All the books that comes, you see, the hidden world. People want to reveal secrets. What they're revealing is the past secrets. Something that passed 30 years ago, you're revealing it to people. What would we do it together? If you reveal to me who killed the Lumumba, what would it do to us today? Because we are here trying to find ways to feed our country. And you're telling me that this man that killed Lumumba, the man that killed Lumumba even is dead as well. Now, what would it, that, you know, sometimes we are hanging on things that are not moving us, instead of hanging on things that will move us. Today we are fighting, we are fighting for our country. What change that this fight is bringing to our countries where our people are? Nothing. Since we've been fighting, they're still the same. We're not sending them food, we're not doing anything, we're not changing their welfare, the condition over there, but we still say we are fighting. And they say that our brothers are fighting. And even we find ourselves that they are fighting more than us. Sometimes we bring them change, but we find that they change, they have it already. And we think we do. That's why I say we need to look at our culture, our belief, our history, our everything, diversity and everything. Start to think now, what can we do in a way that to move us forward? What can we do that we put things in place? You know, sometimes I struggle a lot to start this thing. I had good plans since a long time ago. I remember there's a pastor that's supposed to come here today, he didn't come. He came into me and said, Pastor, why are you waiting to do these things? You need to do it. You know why I was struggling? Because I wanted people to approve me before I started. I was working for, I got someone and said that, what do you think? Do you think that I can make it? And they would tell me, yes, you can. And I said, you go to them and say that, no, you can't. And I said, I think one can, one I can't. It's better to leave it. Then you wait, it's like a vote. You want people to vote for you, then you can say that, okay, now I can make it because I got more votes. But sometimes it's things that you don't even wait for a vote. It is in you. Something that stood me up is one day I was sitting on the story of Mandela. I said, what was Mandela feeling when he went to prison? What was he feeling? What was he saying to himself? 27 years? I'm in my house. I do sometimes, one day I didn't go out in my bedroom. But at least in the evening, I said, no, I need to release myself. Let me go to Fiji Central, have fresh air and come back. My own bedroom. I've got everything inside, my own one, but I can't stand it for 24 hours. But that guy was sitting in a room for 27 years. Now, I said, what was he saying to himself? But the guy came out happy, smiling. He lost his wife, he lost his family, broken. He broke everything. He didn't have money, but still call a leader without money. Still call a leader with a broken family. Still call a leader with a lost 27 years out of the street. I said, come on. I said, now me, I'm sitting, questioning myself, waiting for approval. I said, no way. Even it takes 2 persons, we go. Even it takes the money that I'll feel that is a burden, I will keep doing, because it's something that is not coming out of me. It's not something that I put in myself, but it's something that is a desire that is burning deep inside me, that I cannot pass by. That's why we see that people that make change is people that really stand by the passion, that stand by the interest. That's why we see a leader can make change by ideal account. Because always, sometimes there are things that you do, that sometimes you see your investment going, but you're still repeating the same thing. Why? Because it's driven by the passion. You put money, you don't see the outcome. You put money again. And you don't see the outcome, you put money again. People ask themselves, can't you think? You don't see that there's nothing coming back? You say that I see, really, that there's nothing is coming back. But I cannot stop. I have to continue, because that's what one of the thoughts that is coming out of my mind, that we need to challenge our African leadership. We need to challenge it. Because it's very bad rooted, this leadership. You will see that we live in, even check most of our African fathers in the families, they're struggling now. Because the world is changing. Look at most of our husbands. Today they are struggling, because the system that they're living in is not adapted to themselves. They want to bring the African leadership or remembering their fathers in this culture of Europe. When they put it on a woman doesn't take it anymore. Because she moved. She changed. She said, no, I'm on the move. You cannot bring me that leadership. Or you want me to cook. Man, we're going to look for money, both of us. You better do your chicken, and then we'll just go to the Tesco, get something that you can warm for 1 minute, and you eat. It's not things that you want to sit me in the kitchen for 1 hour. It is not, things are changing. Now, the more we don't redefine our leadership, we find ourselves crying because we want to rebrand our father's life in our home. People are sitting, want to rebrand their father's life. He's branding his father's life. He said, no, my dad, when they were cooking chicken for him, the big part of the back was for my dad. But now in this context, the woman will tell you that, he said the guy that cut it when I bought it, he just cut that big back in 4 pieces. It's not no more big. It becomes 4 pieces now. Now it's very difficult for me to bring that piece back. There are things that we need to define our leadership. Is very important, because the more we don't define it, the more we're going to find in trouble. There's a page here that was mixed up. It's supposed to be the last page, but it's in stapling it became the page before. But the last point I'll close with, I just put a leader is a dealer in hope. A leader has to offer some hope. If there is nothing but despair, then what is the use in following a leader? Why would you want to follow a road that leads to nowhere? Hope is a powerful force that keeps us going in toughest of time. It has the power to energize our life as well as our heart, especially when we are facing the uncertainty of the future. Hope gives us a reason to live. It takes the obstacle that we face and transform them into possibilities. Hope allows us to have strength and courage to face the unknown with power and conviction. Hope brings victory when no one is winning. When I was putting those words, I was feeling the strength in myself picking me up. Because you know sometimes when they say a leader is a dealer in hope, because a leader deals with what is inside him in people. He brings hope in people. He deals with the hope in people. Instead of dealing with the money, he deals with the value in people. He deals with character in people. He deals with things that when people get it, they pick on fire. You know, sometimes today it's very difficult to see people like that, like we've seen before. People that will come and then drive a change, bring hope in people. They say that what hope does for us, hope shines brightest when the house is darkest. Hope motivates when discouragement comes. It's like when we used to see our fathers. I remember my dad, when he gets hungry, he tells him, if you play, you will leave this house. And he says it without not smiling. But today, society, when a problem comes in the house, then will pick his suitcase. I'm going. And you see everyone saying, Papa, don't go, Papa. Papa says, no, I'm going, I'm tired, I'm going. That's how to cry in front of the kids. And then I want to go. And you feel like there's no hope in the house. Everyone start crying. People will be there, Dad is crying, Mom is crying, kids are crying. Now, it doesn't bring hope no more. Because I know when my dad's son is home, that is coming home. I don't know what was happening in the home. You feel like there's something new. You feel like there's a gift in the house. You sound the horn, Dad! That's how we grew up. We were screaming, Dad! You see people jumping, Dad is back! If it doesn't give anything, but you feel that his presence brings me hope. But today, my wife that was telling me the other day, said, our presence in the house, it doesn't change anything. Even though the child want to play, they'll still play. Even though they have to scream, they'll still scream. You won't see the difference that I'm in the house. Even my child, I'm telling them, I'm in the house! I am in the house! And they say, yeah, we know that you're in the house. But it doesn't make any change. I say, what is happening? I'm in the house. I said, I told my wife, I'm in the house, but there's no fear. They jumping, they passing me by. You don't feel, my dad, when he gets in the house, everything starts to see. There's mess. You see the mess. But you proper see that mess when it comes. But the mess was there. You saw that this is the mess. This is not supposed to be here. But when he steps in, that's your eyes opens. You know, you see that this glass is used and need to go. And you see everyone pick. And you see that in his wife and in you. Both of you are doing the same. I remember my father used to have a little lamp that he was putting, like a torch, he was putting in the back of his car. When he gets a problem with his tire, he can just pick it up and then. He just left home 15 minutes, had a problem with his tire, and then went to look at the torch. He's not there. Someone took the stuff, and the guy left his car. Instead of dealing with the car, he closed his car in the middle of Congo, left the car, just to come back home to deal with the one that took the torch. When mom heard that he's coming, and he said if he's coming, he sent the news, sent someone to go tell them my torch is not seen, and I'm on my way to them to get sorted. And then when he was coming, everyone, we went in the same room. The aunties, the kids, the wife, we locked ourselves in one room. And he came and said, I want to speak to you. I said, no, we don't want to speak to you. You stay there, we are in there. He said, come out. I said, no one is coming out. We are here, you are there. Thank God that we are safe here, but to come out, it will be a problem. No one even accepted to come out. No. He was knocking, I want to speak to someone, my wife. The wife said, no. When I will hear that you cool down, I will come out. But from now, I'm still with my kids here, we are safe here. Because he knew that the guy could do anything. They will bring respect in the house and they will bring hope. It is that the leader is the dealer in hope. He brings hope. It's a hope shines brightest when the house is darkest. Hope motivates when discouragement comes. But so today you see in organizations, in communities, most of our communities, you will never see someone that brings hope in the community. You will never see someone that brings encouragement. We are all of us dead, and suddenly you see someone comes and he kill you big time. You can't even wake up no more. It looks like you are about to die. Someone come and they say, I'm gonna knife you now, and then it's gonna be over. They say hope energizes when the body is tired. You know, there are some people when they step in your life, you feel like they've put petrol on you. That you have, do you feel power? When you hear them, you feel like you are alive. Many are good people like that. When even they text you a message, say, I want to encourage you, you feel like you're encouraged. Why? Because there's something that driving them. That's what we're looking for. That's why they say the elite is a dealer in hope. It brings to hope. It energizes the body that is tired. It sweetens when bitterness bites. It sings when all melody are gone. It believes that when the evidence is immediate. It believes when there's no evidence. You know, some people, you can tell them, look, I'm tired. I've tried, but it's hard. They can teach you how to try again. And then you hear them and you try again. Even though you say that this community, I know people in my life that when I got a decision, I can't meet them. I don't know if you experience that. When you get a tough decision, you know the people that you can't come across. I know them. I go personally, I go friend like that. I know that man, if I get across him, he will change my decision. Instead the way he calls you, say, no, I don't want to speak to you. He didn't say anything. He said, why? No. I said, I'm busy. You start raising your voice because you don't want, you feel like they will start their process. You want to block them. Listen, please. I don't want to come across to you. These days, I'm no fine. I want to stay on my side. Only because you know that if they speak to you, you will listen. There's some people, I know someone that came to me. He was planning of leaving his wife. But he's planning it, but he doesn't want to see his wife. Because if you know that if he sees him, the marriage will come back. Now he's doing anything to get hungry. Now he works in a mode. He switch himself on, because when he switch himself on angry mode, he's angry. He knows that now it's over. But you know some women, they know how to play. Now the woman will switch herself in a sweet mode. When she's sweet, and then when you come, you don't know how to play. Now she says, I'll leave you, and you speak from distance. You know, and if she come across me, she'll kiss me, and I will have no option. No, you know, some people say that's how leadership works in people. It's something that fuels people. That's why I'm dreaming. Sometimes I dream. I make pictures. I make scenarios. I make things. I make pictures. I say, can't we see that kind of leader today? If you go everywhere, in every place there's a funeral, someone died, they talk about pastors. I know pastors. Oh my God. These guys, I don't know. Why? Because people want to see something different. They want to see a challenging man that when he comes, they feel like, no, with him, I can jump a hole, I believe I can do it. Because hope listens for answers when no one is talking. Hope climbs over obstacles when no one is helping. You know, sometimes that's what we need in life, that we meet people, you climb trees. You know, before I used to come across people that you meet with them, you go nowhere. There's some environment when you get there, people will teach you how to stay in the same place. You know, you can come, you know, when I came in this country, I was living in an environment that no one goes to you. No one. When they hear you in, they tell you, my friend, forget about that. It's the wrong way. Now, one day I had to decide, and I said, no. I need to research about this thing. Why this guy have fear about this university? When I go to research, I said, but there's something good there. They said, no. Just giving the 3 years of life to a university for them was like a nightmare. But most of them today, they went back. By now, they maybe turned 45 or more, but they went back to study. Because they realized it, but very late. Why? Because they were sitting on something like an understanding. But leadership brings hope. They say hope endures hardship when no one is caring. Hope smiles confidently when no one is laughing. Hope reaches for answer when no one is asking. Hope presses toward victory when no one is encouraging. You know, sometimes there's just, you know, when I was planning to do some of these conferences, you speak to most of the people, they seem like a foolish man. They say, who you gonna sell knowledge to? You're gonna put a conference, speak about forward thinking. Who's gonna forward think? I said, the people will be there. They say, come on, just go and try. But anyway, you come back where we are, and then you give us the news. Now you see people that the way they speak to you. Sometimes, you know, I spoke to someone yesterday. I discovered the impact of speaking to people negative is very bad. I spoke to the guy. I stood up myself in my bedroom. I was about to conclude that I made a mistake of putting this meeting. I was very close. I said, he said, you put it Friday. You see the way it's not by the date. Friday 6. You know when people finish work? It's 6:30. then it's more likely that you can make no one at that time. I said that, you know, when something is good, people will come. He said, but what good do you think? But by the time you make it good, it will take you back another 10 years. I said, but how do you know that it's 10 years? You know how to count them. You know, people, they want to teach you that, look, I said, people that I made for one idea, they will come. Because I'm telling you, I've seen things. Being a pastor, I remember once we had a wedding, we went to that wedding, one of the sisters in the ashes got married. And she got married, and then we did the wedding on Saturday. The Sunday, no one came in church. We were me and my wife. And suddenly, 2 people came, new. That was the first time to come to church. And they come to a church that there's no one. Look at the building. They were there, and I was preaching, but I was saying to my heart, I said, why am I doing this? I said, should I leave it? Should I do it? This work is hard. Sometimes you do it, you feel, and the people were there, I was praying for them, I said, God, touch them. If you don't touch them, these things they won't come. And my friends there, both of them went on the floor. They were under the power of the Holy Spirit. And myself, and they woke up, they never came back. they came to me and said, Pastor, but no one came. I said, no, we had a wedding, they are tired. They say, Pastor, okay then, we see next time we pay you a visit. If we have time, we pay you. But once I went into the church, I saw them there. They became members there. Why? Because they asked themselves and say, how can this church have no members? You know, sometimes it's those times that we need hope. That time that you have something that is burning in you, but the result doesn't seem to be going with the thing that is inside you. You see yourself as a leader, but every time you want to pull something, it doesn't work. And then you ask yourself, am I wrong? But you are not wrong. It is the process. I remember when I went to Canada, they were telling me the story about TD Jakes, how it started. Some of them, if you hear those stories, then you start to believe. You say, no, God, I think I never come across a problem. The guy was driving a Beetle, a little Volkswagen Beetle, and then he said that if he goes to the petrol station, he puts petrol, he knows where the petrol will finish. He had the knowledge of the reserve. You know sometimes when you see a yellow, you say that this yellow is a yellow, I need to go to petrol station. But he know, when he sees a yellow, he knows that he can drive another 2 hours. But he's got the knowledge of the yellow. He says that this yellow light can take me up to 2 miles. And if he says that it will stop in Brent Cross, it will stop there. No more. And he says that when he goes to church, he uses the downhill, and then when he finishes way back uphill, and he knows to play with the road. He says that with this petrol, I need to go that way, because this way will not make it. This way, he knows which way. He said that he had the same knowledge that he has. He said it's the same message. But sometimes, you know, as leaders, people don't accept some of the way that life takes us. You know, sometimes we appreciate the result, but we don't appreciate the process. Sometimes it's the process that makes us who we are. Because things that I've learned today, if I started the church, they gave me 2,000 members, I don't believe that I would have been at this point. But it's running small amount of people that stretches your mind. Because one day you see 3 people, and then you stand in front of them. You say, I've got a word coming from God. And so, I remember a friend of mine, pastor, died in Congo. One thing that I said to himself, he said, what I've preached, I'm dying, I think I will deny everything before I die. Because he sees himself dying in a condition that he was missing $400 to pay for his bill. And the doctor said, we won't touch him. And then he saw himself dying. He took the message he preached to people. He said that I am taking the same message, I'm saying I'm against it before I die. You see now, look the way that he left his wife. His wife will believe in the Bible. She will see the Bible, but when she sees the Bible, she will think of her husband went because, look, but what is sometimes we need that time to understand certain things. We cannot always understand things when we are happy. We cannot understand things when we are in a good mood. Sometimes we need challenges to learn. And so that's what we're refusing, because a dealer will not take challenges. Dealer will take profit, but a leader will take challenges. No, sometimes in life people will betray you sometimes in a way that you look at them, you can't believe. But if you are a true leader, it won't stop you from where you are going. But if you are a dealer, you will say, now, what did I get? Because a leader never sees what he gets from something. He sees where he's going. But a dealer sees what he's getting. Tell them, what did I get? I've been running this church for 3 years. No one brings semolina to my house. No one gives me tithes. No one. Now, what's the point of me being a pastor? Now, he sees himself a pastor because they want to measure him with some 25 kg of semolina in the house. They come and they wash his dishes. They do some fufu. He said, look at the pastor. You see now? The pastor. He said, who's going to put petrol in my car? He said, me pastor, me pastor, me pastor. Is he being a pastor? It's good. People can put petrol in your car, but it's not the end of the means. Because people will put petrol today, but still, you will still have a life to run. Leader or dealer? That's my conclusion.
Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire, il faut avoir quoi? Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi. Pour être sauvé dans ce monde, il faut croire, il faut avoir quoi? La foi.